The prestigious Galactic War College was renowned for its intensive 10-year simulation, a rite of passage for aspiring military commanders across the stars. This year, a group of unlikely cadets from the remote death world of Earth were chosen to participate, much to the skepticism and amusement of their experienced, blue-blooded peers. As the Earthling delegation arrived at the imposing spires of the War College, they were met with a palpable air of condescension. The Galactic students, clad in crisp uniforms and adorned with honors, eyed the ragtag team from Earth with thinly veiled disdain. Among them was Emily Harrington, a brilliant young strategist whose thirst for adventure had led her on this improbable journey. "Look at them, barely out of their diapers," scoffed Elena Dax, the heiress to a powerful Xeno-merchant dynasty. "I give them a week, at most, before they come crawling back to their primitive little planet." Emily, undaunted by the sneers, stepped forward and addressed the gathering. "We may hail from a world you call the Death World, but I can assure you, we are more than capable of holding our own in your vaunted simulation." Her words, spoken with quiet confidence, elicited a ripple of laughter from the Galactic students. The lead instructor, a grizzled veteran named General Koth, regarded the Earthlings with a skeptical eye. "Very well, cadets. If you're so eager to prove yourselves, we'll give you a chance." He gestured toward a towering holographic display, which flickered to life, revealing the intricate web of the simulated galactic theater. This simulation spans a decade of conflict, with countless variables and moving pieces. Let's see if your Death World metal can withstand the rigors of true galactic warfare. As the other teams scrambled to secure their starting positions, Emily and her compatriots huddled, their eyes scanning the display with a keen analytical gaze. The Galactic students, sensing an easy victory, began to place bets on how quickly the Earthlings would be eliminated from the contest. "All right, team," Emily said, her voice barely above a whisper. "We may be the underdogs, but I studied the historical records. I know how these galactic wars play out. If we can just get a foothold, I believe we can turn this simulation on its head." Her fellow cadets, a diverse group hailing from all corners of Earth, nodded in agreement. They had been handpicked for this mission, each possessing a unique set of skills that complemented the others. From the rugged survivalist to the brilliant hacker, the Earthling team was a force to be reckoned with. As the simulation commenced, the Galactic forces advanced with the confidence of seasoned veterans. They executed textbook maneuvers, seizing strategic planets and forging alliances with practiced ease. The Earthlings, in contrast, seemed to stumble and fumble, their tactics appearing disorganized and amateurish. But beneath the surface, Emily and her team were carefully observing, gathering intelligence, and devising a plan. While the Galactic students basked in their early successes, the Earthlings quietly laid the groundwork for a dramatic reversal. "They're playing right into our hands," Emily murmured, her eyes fixed on the holographic display. "Now let's show these galactic elites what a Death World education can do." The first few hours of the simulation ticked by, and the Galactic forces continued to assert their dominance. But as the sun began to set over the War College, a subtle shift began to take place. The Earthling cadets, once dismissed as mere interlopers, suddenly found themselves making unexpected gains, seizing strategic outposts and disrupting the carefully orchestrated galactic war machine. General Koth, watching from the sidelines, felt a growing sense of unease. "Impossible," he muttered, his brow furrowing. "How are they doing this?" Emily Harrington, her lips curled in a knowing smile, continued to guide her team to victory, one bold maneuver after another. The Galactic students, once so confident in their superiority, now found themselves scrambling to comprehend the Earthlings' unconventional tactics. As the simulation's first day drew to a close, the Earthling cadets stood tall, their triumph etched on their faces. The Galactic establishment had been shaken to its core, and the stage was set for an epic confrontation that would reverberate through the stars. As the simulation commenced, the Earthling cadets, led by the brilliant young strategist Emily Harrington, quickly demonstrated unorthodox yet highly effective tactics, confounding their opponents at every turn. Their innate problem-solving abilities, physical resilience, and ability to think outside the box left the seasoned students and grizzled instructors bewildered. While the Galactic forces advanced with the precision of a well-oiled machine, the Earthlings adapted with lightning speed, seizing upon the slightest vulnerabilities in their opponents' defenses. Emily's keen eye spotted openings that her Galactic counterparts had overlooked, and she swiftly directed her team to exploit them. "They're using outdated doctrine," Emily shouted, her fingers flying across the holographic interface. "We need to hit them where they least expect it." Her teammates, once dismissed as mere amateurs, now moved with the coordination of a well-trained unit. The rugged survivalist, Marcus, led daring ground assaults that disrupted Galactic supply lines. The brilliant hacker, Sanvi, infiltrated enemy communications and sowed confusion in the ranks. Even the shy xenobiologist, Liam, contributed his expertise in alien biology to devise unconventional countermeasures. As the Galactic students watched in disbelief, the Earthlings began to gain ground, seizing strategic outposts and denying their opponents crucial resources. General Koth, the grizzled instructor, could barely contain his astonishment. "Impossible," he muttered, his weathered face etched with a frown. "They're employing tactics I've never seen before." Elena Dax, the haughty Xeno merchant Harris, paced back and forth, her brow furrowed in frustration. "This can't be happening. They're just a bunch of backwater primitives. How are they doing this?" Emily, her eyes locked on the holographic display, continued to direct her team's assault. "We've studied the Galactic war machine in detail," she said, her voice calm and focused. "We know its weaknesses better than anyone." The Earthling cadets pressed their advantage, launching daring raids and surprise maneuvers that kept the Galactic forces off balance. Marcus, with his intimate knowledge of survival tactics, led his team on lightning-fast strikes, disappearing into the simulated terrain before their opponents could react. Sanvi, her fingers dancing across the holo interface, disrupted enemy communications and sowed confusion in the Galactic ranks. Liam, drawing upon his expertise in alien biology, devised countermeasures that rendered the Galactic forces' advanced weaponry ineffective. As the simulation wore on, the Earthlings' dominance became increasingly apparent. The Galactic students, once so assured of their superiority, now found themselves struggling to adapt to the Deathworlder's unconventional tactics. General Koth, his face etched with a growing sense of unease, turned to his fellow instructors. "I've never seen anything like this. They're not just winning. They're rewriting the rules of Galactic warfare." The other instructors exchanged uneasy glances, their confidence shaken. They had carefully crafted this simulation to test the mettle of the Galactic elite, but now they found themselves confronted with the unexpected might of the Earthling cadets. Emily, sensing the shift in momentum, pressed her team's advantage. With each passing hour, the Earthlings carved deeper into the Galactic forces' defenses, seizing control of key strategic points and disrupting the delicate balance of power in the simulated Galactic theater. As the sun began to set over the War College, the Galactic students could only watch in stunned silence as the Deathworlder Cadets continued to defy their expectations. The once insurmountable simulation had become a battleground where the Earthlings were rewriting the very nature of Galactic warfare. Midway through the simulation, the Earthlings had made unprecedented gains, capturing key strategic positions and disrupting the delicate balance of power in the Galactic theater. Their Galactic counterparts struggled to adapt, unused to the sheer adaptability and tenacity of the Deathworlder Cadets. Rumors of their exploits began to spread through the hallowed halls of the War College. As the sun rose on the second day of the simulation, the Galactic forces found themselves on the defensive, scrambling to reclaim the initiative they had so easily wielded the day before. Emily Harrington and her team, however, were just getting started. They're relying too much on their established supply lines and communications networks, Emily said, her eyes scanning the holographic display. If we can disrupt those, we'll have them on the ropes. The Earthling cadets sprang into action, their movements quick and precise. Marcus led a daring ground assault that severed a critical galactic supply route, while Sanvi infiltrated the enemy's communications network, sowing chaos and confusion. Liam, the unassuming xenobiologist, unveiled a series of custom-engineered viruses that rendered the Galactic Force's advanced weaponry ineffective. As the Galactic students watched in horror, their advanced technology began to fail, their carefully planned strategies crumbling before their eyes. General Koth, his face etched with a growing sense of alarm, turned to his fellow instructors. This is no longer a simulation. They're rewriting the very foundations of galactic warfare. Elena Dax, her aristocratic features twisted in a mask of fury, slammed her fist on the holo interface. Impossible. They can't be beating us like this. We're the elite of the Galactic Order. Emily, her expression calm and focused, continued to guide her team's assault. We've studied your histories, your tactics, your weaknesses, she said, her voice carrying a hint of triumph. You may have the numbers and the resources, but we have something you've never faced before, the adaptability of a Deathworld species. As the Earthlings pressed their advantage, the galactic forces found themselves in disarray. Entire fleets were ambushed and crippled, while strategic outposts fell one by one to the relentless onslaught of the Deathworlder Cadets. The hallways of the War College echoed with whispers and rumors, as students and instructors alike struggled to comprehend the unfolding events. The once unassailable simulation had become a battleground where the Earthlings were rewriting the very rules of galactic warfare. General Koth, his face etched with a growing sense of respect, turned to Emily Harrington. Tell me, cadet, how are you doing this? What is the secret to your success? Emily smiled, her eyes gleaming with a hint of mischief. The secret, General, is that there is no secret. We're simply doing what comes naturally to us Deathworlders, adapting, improvising, and overcoming. As the day wore on, the Earthling cadets continued to press their advantage, exploiting every weakness in the Galactic Force's defenses. Marcus led his team on daring raids that disrupted enemy troop movements, while Sanvi's hacking prowess crippled the Galactic command and control systems. Liam, drawing upon his expertise in alien biology, developed countermeasures that neutralized the Galactic Force's advanced weaponry, leveling the playing field. The Earthlings' unorthodox tactics, combined with their sheer tenacity, left their opponents struggling to keep up. By the time the simulation's second day drew to a close, the Earthling cadets had carved a path deep into the heart of the galactic theater, seizing control of crucial strategic positions and disrupting the delicate balance of power. The galactic students, once so confident in their superiority, now found themselves on the defensive, their carefully crafted plans crumbling before their eyes. Tensions reached a fever pitch as the Earthling team continued to dominate the simulation, exposing flaws in the established doctrines of galactic warfare. Instructors, once dismissive, now watched in growing disbelief as the 10-year scenario was appended, the cadets demonstrating mastery of disciplines from logistics to diplomacy. General Koth, his weathered face etched with a growing sense of unease, summoned Emily Harrington to his office. The young cadet strode in, her posture exuding confidence, as the grizzled instructor fixed her with a penetrating gaze. Cadet Harrington, he began, his voice gruff, your team's performance in this simulation has been nothing short of remarkable. You've managed to disrupt the very foundations of galactic warfare, and I must confess, I'm at a loss to explain it. Emily nodded, her expression calm and composed. You've spent generations refining your military strategies, General, but you've grown complacent, relying on the same doctrines and tactics that have served you well for centuries. She paused, her eyes gleaming with a hint of triumph. We, on the other hand, have been forced to adapt to the harsh realities of our Deathworld home. That is our advantage. Koth leaned back in his chair, his brow furrowed in thought. So you're telling me that the very nature of your homeworld has shaped your approach to warfare? Precisely, Emily replied. On Earth, we face constant threats to our survival. From natural disasters to the predations of other species, we've learned to think creatively, to seize every opportunity, and to never underestimate the power of adaptability. The general nodded slowly, his initial skepticism giving way to a newfound respect. I see. And how do you intend to continue your assault on the galactic forces? Surely they'll be prepared for your unconventional tactics. Emily's lips curled into a wry smile. That's the beauty of it, General. We're not just disrupting your war machine. We're rewriting the very rules of engagement. As the Earthling cadets pressed their advantage, the galactic students found themselves increasingly unsettled. Elena Dax, the haughty xeno-merchant Harris, paced the war room, her brow furrowed in frustration. This can't be happening. We've spent years studying galactic military history, mastering every nuance of strategy and tactics. How are these Deathworlders outmaneuvering us at every turn? A young cadet, his face etched with a mixture of awe and trepidation, stepped forward. They're not just outmaneuvering us, Elena. They're rewriting the very foundations of galactic warfare. Their tactics, their adaptability. It's unlike anything we've ever seen before. Elena's eyes narrowed, her lips curling into a sneer. Then we'll have to fight fire with fire. If they want to play dirty, we'll show them how the true elite of the Galactic Order wage war. As the galactic students huddled, hatching their counteroffensive, the Earthling cadets continued to press their advantage. Marcus led daring ground assaults that disrupted enemy supply lines, while Sanvi's hacking prowess crippled the galactic forces' command and control systems. Liam, drawing upon his expertise in alien biology, developed a series of countermeasures that rendered the galactic forces' advanced weaponry ineffective. The Earthlings, their teamwork and adaptability honed to a razor's edge, carved a path deep into the simulated galactic theater. General Koth, his initial skepticism now replaced by a growing sense of respect, watched the unfolding events with a mixture of awe and trepidation. They're not just winning, he murmured, they're rewriting the very nature of galactic warfare. As the simulation's fourth day drew to a close, the Earthling cadets stood triumphant, their grip on the galactic theater tightening with each passing hour. The galactic students, once so confident in their superiority, now found themselves desperately scrambling to regain the initiative, their carefully crafted strategies crumbling before their eyes. In a desperate attempt to regain control, the other cadets resorted to underhanded tactics, but the Earthlings' resilience and quick thinking allowed them to overcome every challenge. As the simulation reached its climax, Emily Harrington devised a brilliant maneuver that secured total victory, leaving their galactic rivals stunned into silence. As the galactic students huddled, hatching their counteroffensive, Emily and her team continued to press their advantage. They anticipated every move, anticipating their opponent's strategies and countering them with lightning-fast precision. Elena Dax, her face twisted in a mask of frustration, turned to her fellow galactic cadets. We can't let these Deathworlders make a mockery of us. It's time to show them the true power of the Galactic Order. The other students nodded, their eyes hardening with determination. They began to enact a series of underhanded tactics designed to disrupt the Earthlings' momentum and regain the initiative. Marcus, the rugged survivalist, found himself ambushed by a well-coordinated strike force, their weapons and tactics honed by generations of galactic warfare. But the young Earther refused to be deterred, drawing upon his intimate knowledge of the simulated terrain to outmaneuver his opponents. Sanvi, the brilliant hacker, encountered a series of sophisticated cyber defenses that threatened to cripple her team's communication and command systems. Undaunted, she launched a series of intricate countermeasures, her fingers flying across the holo interface as she fought to maintain their advantage. Liam, the unassuming xenobiologist, faced a barrage of genetically engineered bioweapons designed to neutralize his team's specialized countermeasures. But his deep understanding of alien biology allowed him to devise antidotes and countermeasures, rendering the Galactic Force's tactics ineffective. Through it all, Emily Harrington remained the calm center of the storm, her keen mind analyzing every move, anticipating every twist and turn. She directed her team's efforts with a precision that left the Galactic students and instructors in awe. "They're adapting faster than we can respond," Elena Dax muttered, her frustration evident. "No matter what we throw at them, they find a way to overcome it." General Koth, his weathered face etched with a newfound respect, watched the unfolding events with a mixture of pride and trepidation. "These Deathworlders are rewriting the rules of engagement. I've never seen anything like it." As the simulation reached its climactic stages, the Earthling cadets continued to press their advantage. Marcus led a daring assault that disrupted the Galactic Force's supply lines, while Sonvi's hacking prowess crippled their command and control systems. Liam, drawing upon his expertise in alien biology, developed a series of countermeasures that neutralized the Galactic Force's advanced weaponry, leveling the playing field. The Earthlings, their teamwork and adaptability honed to a razor's edge, carved a path deep into the simulated galactic theater. And then, in a move that left the Galactic students and instructors stunned into silence, Emily Harrington devised a brilliant maneuver that secured total victory. With a few well-placed strikes, she managed to disrupt the delicate balance of power, leaving the Galactic forces reeling and unable to mount an effective counterattack. As the simulation's final moments ticked away, the Earthling cadets stood triumphant, their faces etched with a mix of pride and disbelief. The Galactic establishment, once so confident in their superiority, now found themselves confronted with the undeniable proof of the Deathworlder's might. In the deafening silence that followed, General Koth approached Emily, his hand extended in a gesture of respect. "Cadet Harrington," he said, his voice tinged with awe, "you and your team have demonstrated a level of strategic brilliance that I've never seen before. You have my deepest admiration." Emily accepted the general's hand, her lips curling into a smile. "Thank you, sir. But this is just the beginning. We're only just getting started." The Earthling cadets' triumph sent shockwaves through the Galactic War College. Instructors and students alike were forced to confront their preconceptions about the capabilities of Deathworld inhabitants. Emily and her team's exploits became the stuff of legend, inspiring a new generation of aspiring military leaders across the Galactic community. As the simulation's final moments ticked away, the Earthling cadets stood tall, their faces etched with a mix of pride and disbelief. The Galactic establishment, once so confident in their superiority, now found themselves confronted with the undeniable proof of the Deathworlder's might. In the deafening silence that followed, General Koth approached Emily, his hand extended in a gesture of respect. "Cadet Harrington," he said, his voice tinged with awe, "you and your team have demonstrated a level of strategic brilliance that I've never seen before. You have my deepest admiration." Emily accepted the general's hand, her lips curling into a smile. "Thank you, sir, but this is just the beginning. We're only just getting started." As the news of the Earthling cadets' triumph spread through the hallowed halls of the War College, the reaction was a mix of shock, awe, and trepidation. The instructors, once dismissive of the Deathworld team, now looked upon them with a newfound respect. Elena Dax, the haughty Xeno merchant Harris, found herself at the center of the furor. Her peers, once quick to dismiss the Earthlings, now regarded her with a combination of envy and suspicion. "How could you let this happen, Elena?" one of the other cadets demanded, his voice laced with accusation. "You and your team were supposed to be the elite of the Galactic Order." Elena's face flushed with a mixture of embarrassment and anger. They cheated," she sputtered, desperately grasping at any excuse. "There's no way a bunch of backwater primitives could have beaten us." But the other students, their eyes gleaming with a newfound respect for the Earthling team, were having none of it. One by one, they stepped forward, recounting the brilliance and adaptability they had witnessed firsthand. "It wasn't cheating," a young cadet named Jack said, his voice quiet but resolute. "They outmaneuvered us at every turn, using tactics we couldn't have predicted. And they did it with a level of coordination and resourcefulness that was truly inspiring." Elena opened her mouth to protest, but the words died on her lips as she saw the resolute expressions on her peers' faces. Slowly, the realization dawned on her that the Earthling cadets' triumph was not the result of trickery, but of genuine strategic mastery. Across the galactic community, the news of the Earthlings' exploits spread like wildfire. Holovids and news reports chronicled their stunning victory, and galactic leaders found themselves grappling with the profound implications of what had transpired. "These Deathworlders have shown us a side of warfare we've never encountered before," one seasoned galactic admiral remarked, his brow furrowed in thought. "Their adaptability, their resourcefulness, it's unlike anything we've ever seen. We'd be foolish to dismiss them as mere primitives." Another galactic official, a prominent diplomat, echoed the sentiment. "This is a wake-up call for the entire galactic order. We've grown complacent, relying on the same strategies and tactics that have served us for generations. But the Earthling cadets have proven that there are other ways to wage war, ways that may be far more effective than our own." As the galactic community grappled with the implications of the Earthlings' triumph, Emily Harrington and her team found themselves the subject of intense scrutiny and admiration. They were inundated with offers of prestigious positions as galactic leaders recognized the value of their unconventional approach to warfare. But for Emily and her teammates, this was only the beginning. They had proven their mettle against the best and brightest of the galactic establishment, and they were eager to put their skills to the test in the real world. "This is just the start," Emily said, her eyes gleaming with determination. "We've shown them what a Deathworld education can do. Now it's time to take our place among the galactic elite and reshape the future of warfare." In the aftermath, the Earthling cadets were hailed as heroes, their names spoken with reverence across the galactic community. They were offered prestigious positions and the opportunity to reshape galactic military doctrine, much to the chagrin of those who had once doubted them. Emily, ever humble, recognized the chance to change the course of history. As the Earthling delegation prepared to depart the Galactic War College, they were greeted with a hero's welcome. Crowds of students and instructors alike gathered to catch a glimpse of the team that had rewritten the rules of galactic warfare. Elena Dax, her expression a mix of grudging respect and lingering resentment, approached Emily Harrington. I must admit, Cadet Harrington, your team's performance was nothing short of remarkable." She paused, her gaze shifting to the ground. "I was wrong to dismiss you as mere primitives. You've shown us all a new way forward." Emily smiled, extending her hand. "Thank you, Elena. I know it couldn't have been easy to acknowledge that. But I hope this is the start of a new era of cooperation and mutual understanding between our worlds." Elena hesitated for a moment before grasping Emily's hand, a tentative smile spreading across her face. "I agree. The Galactic Order would be foolish to ignore the insights you and your team have to offer." As the two young women parted ways, General Koth approached Emily, his weathered face etched with a look of profound respect. "Cadet Harrington, I must apologize for my initial skepticism. You and your team have demonstrated a level of strategic brilliance that I've never witnessed before." Emily nodded, her expression humble. "Thank you, General, but the credit belongs to my team. They're the ones who made this victory possible." Koth chuckled, a twinkle in his eye. "Well then, I look forward to seeing what you all accomplish in the years to come. The galactic military would be honored to have you in our ranks." Emily's eyes widened, and she glanced back at her teammates, who were already being swarmed by admirers. "General, I appreciate the offer, but I think our path lies elsewhere. We've seen the limitations of the galactic war machine firsthand, and we believe we can do more good by forging our own way forward." Koth considered her words, nodding slowly. "I understand. In that case, I wish you and your team the very best. The Galactic Order will be watching your progress with great interest. As the Earthling cadets prepared to depart, they were inundated with offers from galactic leaders, each vying for the chance to secure their services. Diplomats, military strategists, and even members of the Xeno merchant elite clamored for a chance to work alongside the young Deathworlders who had so thoroughly upended the established order. Emily, ever the diplomat, deftly navigated the delicate negotiations, her teammates providing crucial input and support. They knew that their triumph had opened up a world of possibilities, but they also recognized the responsibility that came with it. "We have a chance to change the galactic landscape," Emily said, addressing her team. "But we can't do it alone. We need to be selective, to choose our battles wisely, and to ensure that our influence is used for the greater good." Her teammates nodded in agreement, their eyes shining with determination. They had proven their mettle against the best and brightest of the galactic establishment, and now they were ready to take their place among the elite, armed with the knowledge and skills they had honed on their Deathworld home. As the Earthling delegation departed the Galactic War College, the halls echoed with whispers and speculation. What would these remarkable Deathworlder cadets accomplish on the real-world stage? How would their unconventional approach to warfare reshape the Galactic Order? The future, it seemed, was theirs to define. And as Emily Harrington and her team set out to carve their own path, the galactic community watched with a mix of trepidation and anticipation, knowing that the rules of the game had been forever changed. As the Earthling cadets prepared to return home, they reflected on their journey and the impact they had made. They realized that their success was not just a testament to their own abilities, but to the untapped potential of their Deathworld homeworld. With renewed pride, they vowed to continue challenging the status quo and inspiring others to reach new heights, determined to prove that humanity's strength lay in its diversity and adaptability. The long journey back to Earth was filled with a palpable sense of excitement and anticipation. Emily Harrington and her teammates had been transformed by their experiences, their perspectives broadened by the vastness of the galactic community they had encountered. "I still can't believe what we accomplished," Marcus said, his voice tinged with a mixture of awe and pride. "When we first stepped onto that simulation, no one took us seriously. But we showed them that Deathworlders can more than hold our own against the galactic elite." Sanvi nodded, her eyes gleaming with a newfound confidence. "And now we have the chance to take what we've learned and make a real difference, not just for Earth, but for the entire galactic order." Liam, the unassuming xenobiologist, spoke up, his usually quiet demeanor giving way to a sense of determination. "We've been offered so many opportunities, but I think we need to be selective. We can't just jump at the first chance that comes our way. We need to choose the path that will allow us to have the greatest impact." Emily, ever the strategist, smiled. "I agree. We've seen the limitations of the galactic war machine firsthand, and I believe we can do more good by forging our own way forward. But we'll need to be careful. The galactic establishment won't just let us waltz in and change everything without a fight." As the ship touched down on the familiar soil of Earth, the Earthling cadets were greeted by a raucous crowd of friends, family, and curious onlookers. News of their triumph had spread like wildfire, and the people of Earth were bursting with pride and excitement. "Look at them," a young woman shouted, her eyes shining with tears of joy. "Our own Deathworld heroes, coming home to change the world." The cadets were swept up in a whirlwind of hugs, handshakes, and congratulations, their faces alight with a sense of purpose and determination. They knew that their journey had only just begun, and that the true challenge lay in translating their simulation success into real-world impact. In the days and weeks that followed, the Earthling team was inundated with offers and opportunities, each one more tempting than the last. Galactic leaders, military strategists, and even philanthropists sought to secure their services, recognizing the value they could bring to a wide range of initiatives. But the cadets remained steadfast in their commitment to forging their own path. They knew that the Galactic Order was in desperate need of fresh perspectives and unconventional thinking, and they were determined to be the agents of that change. "We've seen what the Galactic establishment is capable of," Emily said, addressing her team. "And while they have resources and influence, they're also shackled by their own traditions and bureaucracy. We have the chance to do something truly revolutionary, to build a new model of galactic cooperation and military strategy, one that puts the needs of the people first." Her teammates nodded in agreement, their eyes gleaming with a newfound sense of purpose. Together, they began to chart a course that would take them beyond the confines of the Galactic War College and into the heart of the galactic community itself. As the months passed, the exploits of the Earthling cadets continued to captivate the imaginations of people across the galaxy. They forged alliances with galactic leaders who shared their vision and began to implement bold new strategies that challenged the status quo. And wherever they went, the Earthlings carried with them a sense of pride and determination, a reminder that the Deathworld they called home was a wellspring of untapped potential, a place where the boundaries of the impossible were constantly being pushed, and where the future was forged by those who dared to dream.